Hi everyone, welcome to our latest Happy Valley betting preview. Myself, Charene Woo and Steve Shanks, aka The Right Man, will be marking the card for all the viewers on Wednesday the 3rd of March. As always, we'll be focusing on races 5, 6 and 7. We'll finish this week's episode with David's Longshot, myself, Charene Woo and Steve Shanks Naps and our any other bet section ending the show. Chris Loader has also sent in his best bet, so stick around for that one. Solid debut last week, Steve. Back again, just can't get enough.
Yeah, it's great fun. I really quite enjoying this, yes.
Yes, it's good to hear a familiar northern voice, Steve. It's probably not what the Asian viewers want to hear, because we'll definitely have to be starting to add subtitles moving forward if you're more of a frequent guest, Steve.
Yes, well, I'll a bit of Scottish voice. You can't beat it, can you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's actually funny because we actually live quite close. We used to live quite close to each other back in Scotland. Charene Woo, how are you?
Yes, I'm all good, thank you. Because in the first meeting in March, I hope we will have a good start.
Excellent. Obviously, we want to get things off to a good start. One thing I would like to mention as well, obviously, I know in the UK and Ireland there's been quite a lot of chat regarding Gordon Elliott. I'm sure it is actually worldwide now. I just want to ask, how quickly did that news hit Hong Kong, Charene?
Yes, because there are not that much media mentioning about this incident. But after we see the photo, we all feel very disgraceful and very unhappy about this. I hope we will not see this similar thing again anymore.
Yeah, absolutely disgraceful. And obviously the news did come out today that he's not allowed to have any runners within the UK, and he's actually, some of these stable stars are moving to Henry de Bromhead and Willie Mullins. I wouldn't be surprised if even more jump ship. Steve, what were your thoughts on the Gordon Elliott saga?
Just how how disgusting and inappropriate the image is, you know. And to me, it doesn't matter that the horse has passed away. That's wholly irrelevant. It's the lack of respect and humanity to a horse that's lost his life. And you know, horse fatalities, especially in National Hunt, it's a sad inevitability. And I think as a trainer, you've almost got to have a bit of be philosophical. You know it's going to happen. It'd be a hard profession if you couldn't sort of reconcile it happening. But you know, what does that photo suggest? You know, to me, it makes him look like he sort of treats animals as commodities. You know, and not as the horses that they should be loved and with dignity and respect in death as well as life. It's just a very sad chapter in racing.
Yeah, dignity is obviously a word that I thought definitely resonated with it. It just looked very cold, didn't it? Very callous. Yes. And obviously with Cheltenham coming up, it's probably came at the worst possible time. But anyways, let's just hope that stuff sort of stops and these people responsible are held accountable, because that's absolutely disgraceful. But anyway, let's focus back on what we're here for. We're going to have a look at the Happy Valley card, obviously race 5, 6 and 7. We'll start with race 5, so at 12:45 UK time and 8:45 Hong Kong time. It's a 6 furlong Matheson Handicap Division 2 Class 4 for a 3-year-old plus. We'll start with Steve Shanks. Who do you want to be on here?
I'm taking Street Scream. He's an 11 race maiden, but I think he's an improved horse this season in his 4 runs to date this season. This is his trip. He's found his level. He was 4th 2 starts ago behind the Colonel with My Ecstatic in 2nd. And I know the race was back in the 6th of January, but it's a race that's worked out quite well. The 5th, the 6th, 7th and 9th. That's Nobleman, Vukan, Hercules and Wood on Fire. They've all come out and won since. He ran well last time, went 5th to Daily Beauty, who has gone on to win again. And he's drawn perfectly okay in 5 this time. He's quick from the gates. He's improving horse and Matthew Poon on board, so he won't lack any assistance in the saddle. And I just think he's got a very good chance. He's up £1, but Matthew Poon takes £2 off.
Yeah, one thing I did see, he was still a maiden within Hong Kong. Finished like an absolute train on the 6th of January after being stolen away at a massive price, 42-1 that day. Yeah. Amazingly, and I think off 51 has to be competitive here. That last run on the 10th of February, it was a solid run. Showed a bit early that day as well and had every chance behind the winner, Daily Beauty. Obviously, subsequently, that you mentioned, won since. He was under a long way out. It was good. I think it's Joe Morero who was on board that day. It's Matthew Poon back on board, obviously. It's a positive. I'd actually like to see this one dropped in, and things are fast paced. See this one coming fast and strong at the finish and hitting the line, hopefully in first. Big chance. Charene Woo, who do you like in this one?
Yes, definitely. I'm happy to see that Mark and Steve, both of you like Street Scream, because this horse will be my bet in this race as well. I tipped this horse on his last start as my nap as well, but he only finished fifth. It was quite a little bit disappointing, but I would say it is forgivable. So I'm now going to give him one more chance. He should be staying at the back with cover, then chase well in the last. But last start, he jumped too well, and then he stayed behind the leader, and then in the final turn, Chess Schofield was too early to shake it up, I think, resulting Street Scream failed to show a good turn of foot in the last. It is forgivable. And the horse is quite consistent over this course and distance. This time, Skate 5 is good, and Matthew Poon on board is good too, because he knows the horse well. I think he is quite competitive at this current rating, so I think he will break maiden in Hong Kong on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's a big price. He's currently 11-2 in the UK right now. That does look a solid each way selection. Obviously, we're all quite keen on number 7 Street Scream, 11-2 for Matthew Poon and David Hall. Moving on to race 6, so off at 1:15 UK time and 9:15 Hong Kong time. It's a 6 furlong Matheson Handicap Division 3 Class 4 for 3-year-old plus. We'll start with Charene Woo. Who do you like in race 6?
In race 6, there are 2 last time winners, number 1 Everforce and number 4 Spontaneous. I like number 4 more because he will be carrying a lighter weight. Last time out, he returned after a spell. It was his first time racing at Happy Valley, and he won it easily. It was very impressive to me because he jumped fast, and then he was able to keep till the end, beating Romantic Trove and Stock Legend, who are both quite fit recently. And then after that, this horse has quite good gallops in the morning, in recent mornings. This time he will race over his winning course and distance again, and I believe he will have a back-to-back week.
Yeah, first time out of Happy Valley and got the business done over course and distance, Charene. Showed good early last time out. Really fast early sectionals on the 10th of February. Perfectly positioned by today's rider, Wagner Borges. Won by a neck, but I think there's still plenty in hand in the tank that day. More to come off a mark of 52, surely. Stall 6 looks a nice draw. I would imagine this one's going to probably be handy or try and make the running on Wednesday. So Charene was on number 4, Spontaneous. Again, 11-2, looks a solid each race selection. Wagner Borges for trainer Paul Sullivan. Steve Shanks, are you in agreement, or are you in opposition to this one on race 6?
I'm in opposition. I went for Everforce. It was a bit of a toss-up between. They're both very good horses. Everforce, he's lightly raced, improving with each run, and got off the mark last time at the 3rd attempt. It wasn't as easy, perhaps, as the odds suggested it would be. He was 3-5 on, but I think he was just doing enough, and he's still learning the game. He beat Peak to Peak, who has yet to win in 5 runs, but that horse has been quite unlucky so far, I think. He's not had the run of the race a few times. Zach Purton rides again, of £6 higher from the plum draw. And he's a 3-year-old. He's giving weight to all, but I think he's improving enough to overcome that. Spontaneous had been off with a tendon injury before returning with an impressive win. And he's interesting off £7 higher. And there's actually a horse that was 6th in that race called Cheeky Prawn. And if he can improve for that debut, he'd also figure. The 2 other horses that I thought were semi-interesting for the future was Gracie Love and E-Honey, drawn in 11 and 12. I like E-Honey, but drawn 12 is a real bad draw. And you know, Alfie Chan will be difficult for him to win from that position. Yeah,
number 1 Everforce for Steve's currently at a 5-2 chance. Thought it was a good ride by Zach Purton last time out on the 27th of January, course and distance. Winning by a neck, cosily at the finish. But again, this one looks unexposed. Only the 4th start in Hong Kong. Zach Purton back on board, drawn 1. You'd expect this one to be prominent. It might actually be quite interesting to see. I think both your selections might track each other. Could be a bit of a stalking match to see who pushes the button first. Yeah. And starting off a mark of 50 could be dangerous. There was one I thought would be quite interesting if there was any money for Jimmy Ting's The Mint. Charene, have you seen this one trial at all? It's currently a 20-1 chance.
Yes, but like the other son of the factor, usually the first up will be a warm-up, so second up will be better. So let's see whether he will perform well on Wednesday night, but I will wait and see until his second start.
So the mints, maybe not to put the money on tomorrow night, just one for the notebook potentially if this one runs well. So put that one in your tracker if it runs a race. So anyway, Steve Shanks, number 1, Everforce 5-2 in race 6, and Charene Woo is keen on number 4, Spontaneous at 11-2. Moving on to the last race we're going to cover of the Triple Trio is race 7, which is off at 1:45 UK time and 9:45 Hong Kong time. It's a 1.5 mile Canal Handicap, Division 1, Class 3 for 3-year-old plus. Steve Shanks, who do you like in this one?
I thought it was hard to get away from the claims of Wealthy Delight. He was a good winner over course and distance on his penultimate start when he beat Sunny Star. And I thought it was an odd race back here last time. I actually tipped up the winner, Sunny Star, in that race. But I thought it was a strangely run race. Christophe Soumillon made the running with Royal Bomb when, from what we've seen so far, he's more of a hold-up horse. And then Joe Moreira rushed up Wealthy Delight in a sort of rapid move forward. So he had nothing left in reserve at the end of the race. I think with Zach Purton on board with a more conservative ride, I think he could return to winning ways. And I think there should be some pace on here with the likes of Smoothies and King Opie. They're liable to, one of them is liable to make the running. And I can't really see Harmony Spirit and Royal Bomb turning the form around from last time. So it's a fairly confident selection, Wealthy Delight.
Quite well found in the market at the moment, Stevie. There's a 7-4 chance within the UK. I do think this one could potentially go up odds on. Consistent sort, Wealthy Delight, number 8, winner on the 20th of Jan. Bold move from Moreira that day, going early and wind around the bend, but holding on from Sunny Star. Sunny Star actually reversed the form next time out on the 10th of Jan with Wealthy Delight. Chris Hume's Charity Fun has also franked the form on the 20th of Jan. I mean, to me, that was probably the start of the year so far. Absolutely hacked up. I couldn't believe that went off 7-2 a few weeks ago. My only concern about Wealthy Delight is that stamina. Is it really his forte and stepping up a strong pace over an extended trip? My only concern would be, would he get home if he pushes the button too early? But he, as I say, number 8, Wealthy Delight for Steve Shanks, currently a 7-4 chance. Charene Woo, what do you like in race 7?
Our selection are quite similar. I like number 8, Wealthy Delight as well, and he will also be my best bet of the night. This 4-year-old side by Lord Cananora settles quite well in the new environment here in Hong Kong, and he scored his first winner here in January. After that, he finished second last time out, and he did not win, but I would say it was a very solid second. It was because the pace last start was faster than the standard. Originally, Wealthy Delight was staying at the back, but Joe Moreira decided to ride his horse to lead before the final turn. It was very challenging for the horse, but he could still finish second behind Nanisa, who is a very consistent horse recently. It was not bad. And then this time, because Joe Moreira is in suspension, so Zach Purton will be riding. Gate 5 is good, so I think he has a huge chance to back to the winner's circle again.
So Charene was also keen on number 8, Wealthy Delight, 7-4. Zach Purton and trainer John Size, both in agreement here. This one probably does look like the one to beat, and I'm just got a slight concern over the distance. But that wraps up the Triple Trio. And what I'll do now is I will pass you over to David for his weekly long shot.
I'm David. Welcome to Happy Valley Race on the 3rd of March 2021. The value bet I'm looking at for today is in race 3. Race 3 is running on 1,200 meters, and let me bring up my handicap sheet. So in race 3, right, my speed figure is showing number 2, number 3, and number 4. But from my selection here, I think I will not go for these 3 horses, although they are rated number 1. The reason why is that they just won and have been trying very consistently. So I prefer to look at something more, I would say, have got a bad run last start and is improving like every race, right? So the horse that I would like to recommend in this race is number 6, Universal Gogo, right? So this horse had a pretty consistent and good run in Happy Valley, right? So and then And then the last start, if you look at the past performance, right, for this Universal Go-Go, the last start is really in this run, right? The horse missed the start, right? So it came back late. Okay, so I would like to give this horse another chance, right? Looking at the consistent performance in Happy Valley, so this will be one of my consideration. The other horse that I'm looking at is that, which I think not quite ready, is is Young Victory, right? So Young Victory is number 9, right? So let me look at Young Victory, right? So Young Victory had a very good run on the 9th of December, right? So running on Happy Valley 1000 meter, it clocked the fastest timing, for the entire day, right? So let me look at horse Young Victory. So if you look at horse Young Victory, right? So this is the race where it clocked the best timing, right? So apart from that, right, the race on the Charene, is actually I mean, still acceptable, right? But the odds didn't show any sign of support, right? So I did look at the odds, right? So the odds still, at the high side, which is like 19, right? It still seems to me there's no major support coming in, right, for this horse. I think it might need a few runs, right? So in this case, right, I would like to go for number 6 Universal Go-Go as my selection this meeting, right? I wish you good luck and see you again next week. Thank you.
David's Longshot is in race 3, number 6, Universal Go-Go. It's currently 11-2 with Matthew Poon in the saddle. And moving on to the viewers' favourite part of the show, it's nap time. We'll start with a fellow Scot, Steve Shanks. What's the nap this week?
Well, I actually really like Wealthy Delight, but I decided to take a chance with Excellent Chariot in race 8. He's an improving type. He's 2 from 7. With both wins coming over at Chatin. And his only run over course and distance came last time when he was drawn wider than ideal in 10, but he stayed on really well to finish 4th behind a nice progressive horse in Equaletta Blitz. He was, Wind and Grass was a place back in 5th. An Excellent Chariot is actually £2 better off this time. He's better drawn this time in 5-2 on an unchanged mark. And I think he's quite attractive because he's taking on 2 horses, the aforementioned Wind and Grass and Jazz Steed, that just find winning very difficult. And so they're sort of making the market for him, if you like, as 3rd favourite. So I think despite obviously Jazz Steed and Wind and Grass being well drawn in 1 and 2, I think there's no excuses for Excellent Chariot. He should get a nice pace to aim at from stall 5. And another one of his rivals that does have winning form is Triple Triple, but he's drawn out in 12. So I think it all points towards a good run from my nap. Excellent Chariot.
Yeah, it's currently a 7-2 chance at the moment, Steve. Number 10 in race 8, Excellent Chariot 7-2, and Matthew Chaddock in the saddle. Charene Woo, nap.
Yes, my best bet will be in race 7, number 8, Wealthy Delight, because I would say in this field he is quite outstanding, and I still believe that this 4-year-old still is still improving. So my best bet will be number 7, race 7, number 8, Wealthy Delight.
Currently a 7-4 chance. Zach Burton in the saddle for trainer John Size, and Lucky Loader couldn't make it this afternoon because he's at Sky Sports Racing. But his nap is also in race 7. It's actually Harmony Spirit at 15-2. No surprise, jockey Cherry Chow and trainer Douglas White just couldn't help himself getting a Jerry Chow selection in. And lastly, I thought I'd chuck a nap in as well. Haven't hit the winners board yet, but I've been close with a few prices, and I've maybe found another one at a price here. It's race 2, number 10, Run Good. It's currently a 40-1 chance for Matthew Chadwick. First time out at Happy Valley tomorrow, and stepped up to a trip of 1.5 miles. It was 3 wide throughout last time at Chatin on the 14th of February. Not given a hard race. If you go back and watch that replay, when staying on at the furlong pole, Run Good was ridden into a wall of horses and stopped in his run. Matthew Chadwick on board is a positive, and Run Good could be dangerous off a mark of just 44 in what looks a desperately weak race. So my nap is in race 2, nice and early, number 10, Run Good. It's currently a 40-1 chance in the UK. And what I've done as well, I know a lot of people like the multiples. I've done a Steve Shanks treble over race 5, 6, and 7. Currently pays 60 to 1. Number 7 Street Scream 11 to 2. Number 1 Everforce 5 to 2, and number 8 Wealthy Delight at 7 to 4. And the treble for Charene Woo pays 115 to 1. Number 7 Street Scream 11 to 2. Number 4 Spontaneous 11 to 2, and number 8 Wealthy Delight at 7 to 4. It does seem there's going to be a lot going on Wealthy Delight, so hopefully that one can get the business done. And that's all we have time for this week. It's been great to have Charene and Steve on, and obviously David's Longshot and Chris Loader's Nap. Make sure you subscribe to Sharene's channel, like this video, and leave us a comment on your best bets and triple tier selections for this week's meeting at Happy Valley. Also, check out our UK and Irish betting podcast, In the Saddle. Our Cheltenham preview will be out soon, so make sure you subscribe to our podcast. I'll put the link in the bio to this. Lastly, we have also teamed up with Aquatic Sport and have our own clothing brand. Charene, your stuff is in the post already, so don't stress. We'll be doing a free giveaway soon, so make sure you follow us on Twitter for all the details of our latest getaway. Thank you, Charene and Steve, for marking the card at Happy Valley, and to all the viewers, good luck with all your selections, and remember, please gamble responsibly.